Surrounded by greatness, not across the gulf with all these haters.
Can't show me nothing, know that I ain't never seen it. I've heard it all. Somebody been done tried to say all that to me. I've done it all. That's how I know that this is what I wanna be.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like.
Tell you ain't nothing like it.
Like what's right.
Wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. Literally.
Like seeking right. Nothing like it, ain't nothing like it, ain't nothing like being right.
Nothing like it, ain't nothing like it, ain't nothing like
Nothing at all.
Nothing like it, ain't nothing like it, ain't nothing
Like
like
what's right.
Nothing like it, ain't nothing like
I wanna be right.
Ain't nothing like it. And it's free. That's the best thing about it, is that nothing can stop you from obtaining it. You are in full control. Nobody can stop you from being as right as you want to be. I will never forget it when that day came, Con, where I just wanted to be right, man. Well, whatever right was, I was going to be doing that. No exceptions. Whatever the right thing to do was, I was going to be doing it. Period. Whatever was the right thing for me to be saying, I wanted to be saying that at all times. I didn't care what it was going to cost me. Whatever it was going to cost me, I was just going to have to be paying that price, I didn't care who didn't like it, who it made mad, none of that. I didn't care about what nobody else wanted to keep on doing. Didn't care what nobody thought about me and my decision and wanting to do that, none of that. I just wanted to be right, just right. That's it, that's all, nothing more, nothing less. Just right, just wanted to be right. Just right. Whatever was the right thing for my mind to be thinking, man. And I was gonna be thinking that.
Father, my arms are stretched out to you. I'm on my way to you. Bless my feet, I'm walking, yeah. Bless my hands, I'm working. Bless my mind, I'm thinking, yeah. Bless my heart, I'm feeling. My poor soul desires you. Father, my arms are stretched out to you. I'm on my way to you. Bless my feet, I'm walking, yeah. Bless my hands, I'm working. Bless my mind, I'm thinking, yeah. Bless my heart, I'm feeling.
My heart's feeling
My poor soul desires you.
our souls call upon thee higher.
Shalom. Aloha. Hola. Assalamu alaikum. Hello to you wherever you may be in this world. Welcome to Okoti Speaks. I am Okoti Tamar. I feel good. I feel good. I feel good. Y'all see the topic. It's about righteousness, y'all. We have had ourselves our first couple of months dealing with all kind of adversity and strife. But yet in the midst of all of that, we have brethren in this hour committed to stand united. Is that a black dream, family? Can you imagine loyalty, unity in our community? Is that a black dream? Let's talk about that tonight. That's what we're going to talk about. And I want y'all to understand the spirit in which I'm coming in. Oh, I give all praises to the Most High for this message going out tonight. So, as a Hebrew Israelite, a way of life, you guys probably never heard me speak it on this level, but it's important that if you're in earshot of this or you're going to watch the rebroadcast, you understand what is the motivation behind the wanting to bring brethren together. In this hour, we are about to be approaching what we call our new year. And 14 days after that new year, or 13 days, and the 14th day of that new year, we celebrate Passover. And then we go right into the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And in this hour, we have to start getting out all the leaven that we have for our people, no matter where they may be. You need to reach out to them and release whatever it is that's on your spirit, that's weighing you down, that's keeping you from walking with, communicating with, and just loving your brethren or sister in this hour. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about why it's important that we right now in this day and age cleanse our hearts and our minds so that we could be right to hear the Most High when He's calling us to do certain things, guiding us with a purpose. And we all recognizing that we're all God's children, Yah's children, Yahuwah's children, Allah's children. Then we have to understand that we're being guided by a particular moral compass. As I was explaining to a brother and I had a phone call with, shouts out to Major TV. Me and the brother was chopping it up, and we came to a common understanding that we are all operating under a common moral doctrine where we have a common interest to see our brethren be well. And if you're not aligned with that doctrine, then we can have to collectively say that you're not brethren, right? And so with that, the purpose of getting brethren together is so that we can map out a plan. And this is not a plan that's going to be broadcast to the world, but I want everyone to understand why we are doing what we're doing. Other nations know that the world is waiting on us to act. Brethren know that the world is waiting on us to act. But we have to act in righteousness, for righteousness' sake. And we all understand that the time is at hand. We all understand that what we need to focus on is repairing relationships, becoming united to support our community, realize their dream. And that's to be united, self-determined, sovereign nation. You don't need to ask nobody's permission to get your self-determination, to accomplish your self-determination through the grace of the Father. So as everybody's looking for that one common goal, we're working towards that one common goal, then it would lend itself for us to become united within the community, and the dream is realized. So when we start to think about different concepts, you say, well, see, that's easy for you to say. That's what we've been saying all the while. We need to be united. We need to come together, and then nothing ever happens. Aren't y'all tired of that? I know I am, family. I am really, really tired of it. So I just want to go ahead and give all praise to the Most High again for giving me this topic. It has been a culmination of things that happened since January up until now, both on the personal side, on the business side, and on the community side. All of these things that happened has brought me to present this podcast tonight. And I have a special featured guest for the first time. I've never done this before. I ran across this song on YouTube by Bronze 7, and I've been listening to it ever since, and it has now become my new favorite song. So that song is going to be my guest feature, my featured guest, and the song is 29 minutes long. So we're going to have some fun with it, listening to the words. This is a song, like as in the Psalm David, the Psalms of David, Songs of Solomon. And this is a song. It's 29 minutes long. And I want you guys to listen to what is being said as I go through different concepts that we all are familiar with. It's nothing scary. It's just we're going to talk truth. So let's talk. So the first concept or topic of discussion is the term loyalty. And what does loyalty mean? Loyalty in general use is a devotion and faithfulness to a nation, cause, philosophy, country, group, or person. Devotion, faithfulness to a nation, philosophy, person. Those are the things that encompass a healthy community. Just concepts that I want y'all to think about. That's loyalty. So, I always want to go a little bit deeper and see, what other things I can pull out of that. So I go and get another definition, the law definition. So when I looked up loyalty, loyal, okay, it says legal, authorized by or conforming to law, also faithful in one's political relations, giving faithful support to one's prince or sovereign or to the existing government. What jumped out at me when I read this definition was this part, giving faithful support to one's prince or sovereign. So then when I say faithful support, and I looked at the other related legal terms, that led me to that word allegiance. So, according to the law, by allegiance is meant the obligation of fidelity and obedience which the individual owes to the government which he lives, or to his sovereign in return for the protection he receives. If I say I'm not, I left this governmental system, democracy, whole sham, devil, bull BS 5-6 years ago. Be 6 years this year. Come this Passover, as a matter of fact. And so I no longer, I live in this government, I have to, I'm in captivity. I have to operate in this government in order to survive. But I don't have to pledge my allegiance to this government. Because I pledge allegiance to no man. I'm loyal to my sovereign, which is my creator. So I know we can all understand that concept. We are loyal, pledge allegiance to our sovereign, which is our creator. So you see, what does that have to do with black community unity? Like I said in the beginning, we're all operating under one moral code, one moral doctrine. We have acknowledged that we have a creator. Whether we say God, Allah, Yeshua, or we say Yahuwah, when you are acknowledging that there is a creator that created you, that's the entity, that's the sovereign that you are pledging allegiance to. And if we're all on that same accord, then we have a fighting chance of remaining loyal to that sovereign and remaining unified for that cause. And everybody in the community is doing it. I pray that that's making sense. Let me see if there was something else on allegiance that I wanted to bring out. No. So, let me make sure. Yeah, that's it on that. So, let me go to the next definition. Faithful. Because we're going to be faithful to our sovereign. So, definition of faithful. Steadfast in affection or allegiance. Loyal. Firm in adherence to promises in observance of duty. Remember, in the first definition, they said that you remain sovereign or faithful to your sovereign in exchange for something good or for some kind of benefit. But what's the benefit of being righteous in this hour? What's the benefit of being righteous? Now, I told y'all that I had a guest, and my guest was Brian 7. Brian 7. And the name of this song is called Nothing Like It. The truth about righteousness. We heard the first, 10 minutes. Oh, wow, I really let that play like that? Oh, I guess I never stopped it, y'all. Uh-oh. Let me go back and stop that and run it back, because I know I stopped it back at the 6-minute mark. Let's go get the last part of that. And listen to the words, y'all. Listen to the words.
Right, that's right. That's it, that's all. Nothing more, nothing less. That's right. Just wanted to be right. Praise Yahweh. Just right. Praise Yahweh. Whatever was the right thing for my mind to be thinking. And I was going to be thinking that.
Father, my arms are stretched out to you. I'm on my way to you. Bless my feet, I'm walking, yeah. Bless my hands, I'm working. Bless my mind, I'm thinking, yeah. Bless my heart, I'm feeling. My poor soul desires you. Father, my arms are stretched out to you.
So, as the brother is saying, he's stretching his all out to thee. Because all he wants to do is just be right. In whose sight? In the sight of his sovereign. Right? In the sight of his sovereign. Words do matter. Words do matter. Third definition of faithful. Given with strong assurance, binding. True to the facts, to a standard, or to an original. People want, some Christians say that they're following Jesus. Hebrew Israelites say they're following Yahshua. Muslims say they're following Muhammad, the prophet. Faithful allegiance to these sovereigns We have that all understanding. But why? Why? Do they represent something that is just innate in us? That moral compass that the Most High's chosen people all share, that commonality that makes up our community, right? That lets us know that that's our brethren. And it also lets us know and helps us define who our enemies are. Because it's either right or it's wrong. There's no in between, right? Unless you gray, in the gray area, lukewarm. Can't afford to be not in this hour. True to the facts, to a standard. So you faithful to the standard of wanting to remain under the protection to receive the gifts of your sovereign. Oh, I pray that was not too hard to understand in this hour. You know, I'm not going to go through what the Bible says about loyalty, because that's not what I'm trying to do, is beat you over the head with Bible verses. I just wanted y'all to know that this is the perspective from which my moral compass is based in. So moving forward, working together, when I say these things, or when I say things, it's moving in that spirit, understanding that we're all the Most High's chosen people, and we're all recognizing that we do have a moral compass about us. And there's certain things we will not stand for, and that we should not stand for as a nation of people in this hour. Loyalty isn't gray. It's black and white. You're either loyal completely or you're not loyal at all. And people have to understand that or understand this. You can't be loyal only when it serves you. Because it's called sacrifice. Think about the sacrifices your parents made. Just the fact that your mama decided to get with your daddy, and they decided to come together in that union and decided to have you and not abort you. You wasn't a blowjob. You're here. For whose purpose? Now that you're here, whose purpose? And who are you going to remain loyal to? Are you going to be lukewarm? I'm going to stand with my nation of people because I'm going to remain sovereign to my head, my king. I remain loyal to my sovereign. So, for all of that's wanting to be sovereign, a sovereign nation, this is what the Law Dictionary says. What is sovereignty? The possession of sovereign power, supreme political authority, paramount control of the Constitution and the frame of government and its administration. The self-sufficient source of political power from which all specific political powers are derived. The international independence of a state combined with the right and power of regulating its internal affairs without foreign dictation. Also, a political society or a state which is sovereign and independent. So, my whole thing is this on the sovereignty piece. What the Moors have been proclaiming since forever. They have some kind of treaties that they made with the oppressor long time ago, where they're a sovereign nation of themselves, the Moorish society, whatever. Morris Temple, and as usual, the oppressor broke many treaties with lots of indigenous people. My whole thing about sovereignty is that I don't have to ask my oppressor if I can be sovereign. I don't have to ask my oppressor who I can put my allegiance to or with. If I want to stand with my people, I'm going to stand with my people. I don't need the government to tell me that is what I can do. I don't need to file no paperwork. I'm just going to go out there and stand with my people. Whenever there's oppression or something that needs to point out, I'm going to speak out about it. I'm not going to remain silent. And I'm going to do whatever the Most High tells me to do in order to further His rulership on this earth. Serenity. So it can be done. I'm moving down here where it says, the freedom of the nation has its correlate in the sovereignty of the nation. So basically what it's saying is that once you show that you're a sovereign nation, you have to show them. We have run up there and put something on paper, and we haven't demonstrated that we are. We're too busy fighting over frivolous items of discussion. Just frivolous. Like, how does that improve our people? That's a question you should ask when they come to you with those frivolous conversations or frivolous issues. Ask them, how is that going to help our nation? And see, I'm about action. Like, we could talk all day long, but let's do something. Now, what we can put in writing, if we want to put something in writing, put in writing a plan on how we become sovereign. And we share that plan amongst us, because we are talking about us. Why do we need to let them know? Right? Only those that have an ear to hear needs to know. And I'm cool with that. And I know the most of the people that are listening now or may listen later, I know they understand that. We could be cool with that. Love you, but gotta go. Right? If a determinate human superior, not an inhabitant of obedience to a like superior, receive habitual obedience from the bulk of a given society, that determinate superior is sovereign in that society, and the society, including the superior, is a society political and independent. So you mean to tell me all we have to do is declare that the Most High Creator is our sovereign, collectively as a nation, and they have to understand that we are a sovereign nation, that we do not declare allegiance to the United States, that our allegiance is to the Most High? Did I just read that? I'm going back to my co-host. Got to go back to my co-host.
I'm on my way to you.
On my way.
Bless my feet, I'm walking. Bless my hands, I'm working. Bless my mind, I'm thinking. Bless my heart, I'm feeling.
My heart's feeling.
My poor soul desires you.
Father, our souls call upon thee a higher. Hold up. Proverbs 30 and 12 through 13. There is a generation that are pure in their own eye. A generation that is pure in its own eye. They are only pure to themselves. You hear everybody talking about how real they are. I'm real this, I'm real that, right? And everything outside of what they perceive as real is fake, ain't it? Fake this, fake that, y'all fake this, fake that, huh? This generation is pure in its own eyes, but in real life, what? And yet it's not washed of their filthiness. And yet are not washed of their filthiness. Out. Standing there talking about how authentic we are, but yet ain't washed of our filthiness. That's this generation. That mean this way that we boast of. It's not even Christ's way. It derails the path supported by scripture. It's off track, huh? But we got our gun out the holster, popping shots at everything and everybody who ain't operating according to what we feel is right. Romans 10:3, right? We have established our own righteousness. It's not according to what we learned in this book. So we ain't yet washed of our filthiness. We ain't been through the twists and turns and emotions of purifying ourselves according to the standards of a higher. Tell us more about this generation, King Shalimah. 13, there is a generation, okay? Oh, how lofty are their eyes. Oh, how lofty are their eyes. Lofty mean tall, huh? So that mean I'm shooting my eyes all up in the air while somebody trying to tell me something. Like, whatever, huh? I'm too pure. I'm pure in my own eyes. Anything that's against what makes my world go round, I'm too good to hear that. You see that? My way is better than whatever you trying to bring me. Am I Bible or not? I don't care just because you got a scripture to go with it, huh? We all have witnessed it. Oh, you trying to keep knowledge? We all have witnessed that with this generation. Reading on. And their eyelids are lifted up. My eyelids lifted up. I'm rolling my eyes. Like you don't know what you talking about. You offended me at this point. I'm offended by and by. You taking me up out of my comfort zone. Because the way I've been doing it and where I found comfort is better, huh? My way is real. My way.
Your way is real. Sovereign to who? Yourself? No respect for the Creator. We cannot win if we're operating in that spirit. My people, we cannot win when we're not recognizing that we have a sovereign. We cannot win when we don't recognize that we're sovereign to no man. We're sovereign to our Creator. Liken him into a king, the chief or sovereign of a nation, a man invested with supreme authority. A man invested with supreme authority over a nation, tribe, or country, a monarch. Kings are absolute monarchs when they possess the powers of government without control or the entire sovereignty over a nation. They are limited monarchs when their power is restrained by fixed laws. So, y'all want to be under a king that said man, or y'all want to be under the king that created you? We have to decide as a nation of people who we going to serve before we can ever come together and be united. We have to come together on that code. Unity. Unity. So what is unity? The state or quality of being one or united into a whole. It's not me, it's we. The founding fathers had abhorred the concept of parties, fearing that they would undermine the unity of the nation through factionalism. Fascist. Didn't they call Obama a fascist? They're going to be calling that to Joe Biden too, especially after all y'all start getting those stimulus checks. Unity, the state or quality of being in accord. Harmony. C, the state or quality of being unified in an aesthetic whole. Culture. Culture. Yeah. That code. Yeah. As in a work or literature. D, a whole that is a combination of parts. We all have all our different talents. We are in, number one, Most High placed us in every nation around, scattered to the four corners of the world. And we are in every industry sector. Each and every one of us possess a talent that can be utilized for the purpose of the Most High's chosen people, where we won't have to ask the government if I can, and I don't have to, or supply the government with some type of documentation saying that I don't want my child to be vaccinated, or I don't want my child to be witness to certain curriculum that they're pushing. Right? You should have the right over your child. So each and every last one of us have a talent that we could bring forth to the community, where we don't have to be adherents or pledging allegiance to another sovereign entity, such as the government. Unity. Number 2, singleness or constancy, or constancy of purpose or action, continuity. So we cannot just get on this for a passing fad, just a passing moment. Just this is a moment, a movement, or a revolution. Whatever it is, stick with it. Because if it's going to be done in righteousness, and for righteousness' sake, for the righteousness of the sake of a nation, of a people, then stick with it. Let's be consistent with loving our people. Let's be consistent with wanting us to improve where we are financially, educationally, mentally, spiritually, just as a whole nation. It's not that difficult if only we just let our individual wants, needs, and desires go and gear those talents towards a collective whole. What can you do to make a change? Start thinking about those things. Because as the brethren and the sister and I get together and talk, we're going to be writing together an agenda, like for real. Like, we're gonna analyze Ice Cube's agenda. Take from that. And then get with the like-mindeds that we have, brought together to see how we could take from Ice Cubes, come up with our own collectively, and establish our own laws, codes that we go by that's separate from theirs, but that's in alignment with your sovereign, the moral code. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. Another dictionary definition. The state of being one, oneness, unity. Unity may consist of a simple substance or existing being as the soul, but usually it consists in a close conjunction of particles or parts, constituting a body detached from other bodies. Unity is a thing undivided itself, but separate from every other thing. Scriptures say, come out of there, my people. Yahuwah said, you are a separate nation, a set apart nation. I set you aside for myself. What a marvelous thing that to know that your creator said, I'm going to set this group of people aside to himself. Why? Because he wanted us to say, you stay unified. A unified nation of people that stood on a code, that stood on a moral code that he gave, because he's sovereign. I can't make this up. I give all praises to the Most High. Is black unity unattainable? Gotta go back to my co-host.
is pure, and I hate all ways that ain't my way. But in real life though, precept, get it again, what is it really looking like? Titus 1:15, unto the pure, all things are pure. To the pure, all things are pure. Not just you, everything, everybody. You have a level of love for everything that the Father created, huh? You can acknowledge some good in every one of his creations that you look at. That's having love and compassion for mankind and appreciating life, being thankful to even be breathing, right? Reading on. But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. Pow, punchline. But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, because they defiled and unbelieving, right? So that's all they eyes is gonna be trained to see. They can't see the purity and goodness in nothing and nobody but themselves. You see that? Nothing pure, everything fake. I don't care what it is. They can look at it and find something to complain about. Anything they look at is fake, right? You could open up and speak from your heart and they'll be like, nah, that ain't how you really feel. You really feel like this, right? Oh, you just saying that because of this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? You really done spoke some showmanship, something that they could take into their bosom and grow from. But instead, nah, they gotta find something wrong with it, right? Anything that ain't they way, anything that ain't the way they think it should be, they ain't got no respect for it, huh? They gon' jump in there and destroy all the positives of it and draw out all the negatives of it. Because to them that are defiled, everything is defiled. Nothing is pure. But what? But even their mind and conscience is defiled. Bang, that's why that is, because they mind and their conscience is defiled.
Now, your mind and your conscience is defiled. Is that why we can't obtain black unity? Your mind and your conscience is defiled. I started the show by saying how we have to cleanse our heart. It's going to help you cleanse your mind. Your mind and your heart is one. The mind and the heart is one. So we got to cleanse our heart, cleanse our mind in order for us to attain black unity. Stop being so evil-eyed to your brethren. Stop always assuming that they're out to get you, or they want something from you, or stop assuming that your brethren is your enemy. Because they're not. We're all in the same boat together. No matter how much money you have, we all still in the land of our captivity, so we ain't free, right? Except freedom in your mind. Take the chains off your mind, then you can be free. Y'all have to understand that even the white folks know that our problem is we don't have unity. Don't believe me? Listen to American Doofus channel. Check it out, y'all.
One final thing here. By the numbers, I talked about a poll that USA Today did about the George Floyd murder, and that 28% of the white community, based on this 1,580 person poll, 28% said it was indeed murder. And an additional 31% said it was negligent, said it was wrong, in other words. Now, if let's just round it to 30%. If 30% of the white community is sick and tired of racism and ready to make changes towards equality, and the black community could unite, and that 12% could unite with that 30%, you got 42%. You've got enough power to make a difference.
Honestly, I mean, I wouldn't trust anything the government says because they haven't been representing the people. What makes you think that they're representing us or any race of people then, or with that statistic? Who are they polling this from?
Oh, it was a USA Today. It was a newspaper poll.
Oh yeah, no, that was just me. My thinking on it is like,
You
If
can't
they're
trust.
not representing us there, I mean, how
Well, that's
are
what
they
I'm saying.
representing us?
They're not representing us there in Washington,
So,
D.C.
in my personal opinion, I would feel like that number would be a lot higher, and they're taking away from that number to, you know, maybe think, or maybe instill in people's minds that, you know,
It can never happen.
exactly, nothing could ever happen.
Yeah.
But if,
We're trying to do,
you know,
we're trying to do something different here with EAR, and it's
and I
only,
respect that. I respect that a lot.
we've only got
Everybody
one.
has a role to play in this.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we're trying to do is, we're not trying to take anybody's place. We're not trying to diss anybody that's doing anything out there. We're just going to, in addition to. And I think if the NFAC, if the NBBP, if all these various
Black Panther
organizations could start uniting their people and come together with those of us in the white community that want to see change, we'd have the power to make change.
Y'all hear that?
Oh, no. We all have the power now. I mean, the power is to the people. And that's, you know, I heard you and Knuckles talking the other night and what you guys thought Black Power was. And I was just, when he said that he was offended by when people say Black Power, I was just like flabbergasted. Because to me, and from what I've gathered, is Black Power means power to the people. That doesn't fear me at all. I want the power to the people.
Yeah, and
where it belongs.
And I tried to point out that, you know, the difference between saying white power and black power is that the white community already has the majority of the power, and that's just a statement of keeping the power and increasing the power. And when it comes from black power, it's trying to get a little bit of power. Yeah,
it's
trying to get a little bit of power,
though, because the government steps in and tries to take
Absolutely.
it over. I mean, just like most people don't know that. Like I know this firsthand because I've seen them feeding me breakfast and stuff in schools. The Black Panthers brought forth the free breakfast program.
And I've got a video that I haven't got on yet. Shout out to DD for sending it to me, of the Black Panthers distributing meals up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin last weekend.
Wisconsin, yes.
I think, or Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was one of those.
See, I mean,
that
how many beautiful. People knew?
And I mean, if people would stop, relying on the government and started relying on themselves and their neighbors,
self-determination.
I mean, we have, like I said, we have the power, and the power.
And they are trying to align themselves with who? Black Nation. They are acknowledging that they need us to lead us. What? They're waiting on us to lead us. But we can't lead us because we don't have a plan. We don't have a plan because we're not united. We're not united because we cannot remain loyal to nothing. That's what we do. We're some unloyal. Y'all remember that movie? Yeah. So what the white man was alluding to is that every time we, in the past, we came together on a united front to do something, the government came and destroyed it. Why? Because we didn't have defense. Then when the new Black Panther came along, party came along. Did I pull that picture? Let's see. Then what we had was We had the defense, but then we didn't have all together now, because some of us was like afraid of the guns. Shout out the Sons of Yah on Instagram. You know, they were afraid of guns. So that's the difference between Black Wall Street, all united, no defense, Black Panther Party era, self-defense, not all united. So what do we do today? Like I said before, we're Black and we're brilliant. And we are in every sector of we're in every industry sector, like, and we're experts. I mean, we have people with degrees. And if we can get them, encourage them, put forth to them a plan where we can show them how they can help their people and yet still make a profit. After all, like my Major TV said, we spend $1.3 trillion. We're the biggest consumer in this nation. Yet we're on the bottom. We're on the bottom of everything. So you have a few celebrities that supposedly making millions. For rappers, make a couple $100,000. But where is their prosperity? And how does their prosperity compare to what their other brethren hopes of some type of prosperity? How does that compare? Are we giving them hope? You know, the white people seem to have more hope in us and believe that we could do it better than we can. The white man said if they do it, the government might come and tear it down. But at least now that we're saying that we have some type of defense, now we put our collective skills together and we can be like the sign said, Black and brilliant. And guess what? They will start following us and following us on that moral code too. See what I'm saying? This is the video that the man was speaking about.
The nation, 300 boxes, 300 gallons of milk. Come on here.
Shouts out to OC the Great TV. He provided this video for us to let us know what the Black Panthers was doing in Minnesota. Check them out.
What's going on, brother? Black Paul. All Paul to the people. Want some of this food, brother?
Always gonna be a bigger house somewhere, but nigga feel
Unity in this hour, y'all, is happening. Don't let them show y'all you can't do it. Don't feed us that propaganda.
New Black Panther Nation, Minnesota chapter out here. Free food giveaway back to Brooklyn Center and the community. Pull on up along the curb and we'll take care of you. We got 300 boxes of food, 300 gallons of milk. It gotta go. Just pull up, family. We got you. We take care of y'all. All power to the people because we love y'all. And
just
that's real out here, man. Straight up. And make sure y'all spread the message. Make sure y'all spread the message. Send the message. Show the video, whatever. Spread it and share it with the next person so they can come up here and grab some of this free food. They say the best things in life is free, family. Come through. New Black Panther Nation, Minnesota. We are also recruiting strong sisters and strong brothers that would like to see change in their community.
That's right.
All right? Strong sisters and strong brothers that would like to make change in their community. It's going to take us as a nation to stand together and unify to make change in our community.
You know what?
Because where there's people, there's power. Where there's unity, Black unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb. And that's real. So make sure y'all spread the word, spread the message. Pull along the line, this curve. Pull up, family. Get you some of this free food.
Wave that red,
Straight
black
up.
and green flag. Wave that red, black and green flag.
That's
Wave
right.
that red, black
Spread
and
the
green
message, baby.
flag. Wave that red, black and green flag.
New Black Panther Nation.
The red represents bloodshed, the black represents This is Holy Land, the indigenous, this is our land.
We do this for the community, man. We do this for the people.
Wave that red, black, and green flag.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
My brothers and sisters, play.
So that was going down in Minnesota last week. If you didn't know. Of course you didn't know. They probably didn't make national news, but OC the Great TV, part of an outstanding black media crew, is just killing it with keeping us abreast of what's going on in the community. And I salute you, my brother, for standing 10 toes down and working for the community and believing in the community, believing that we can be unified, we can remain loyal for the community, doing it for the community. So keep up what you're doing, brother. OC the Great TV. Check out his YouTube channel. Go over there, like and subscribe as usual. Now, Major Talk TV, and I had to reach out to this brother after seeing this podcast, How to Build a Strong Black Nation. If you have not checked it out, please go and check it out. These brothers, these young brothers, as OC the Great in the blue shirt, Major TV with the microphone, the shirt with the microphone on, and Talk Black to Me Radio. That young, I got a Wakanda game show coming out soon. I hope he didn't come and bring it out today. He said he was gonna maybe do it Thursday, but I didn't get no notification. But you know how that goes. But he's coming out with a Wakanda game show, and it's gonna be real. He said it's gonna be real. It's gonna be real amped. So y'all need to go over there to Talk Black to Me Radio, and like and subscribe his page as well. Major TV. His brother's out of Louisiana, and we chopped it up, like I said, after listening to this podcast. And I just want to give y'all a little taste of what they talked about and what inspired me to want to go ahead and put more people together and have a serious conversation and commit to putting it in writing. Commit to that. I'm committed to that. Some other people are committed to that, and I say it's time to go. So, you know, I want to share this with y'all to let y'all know that yes, we can build a nation, but we have to have order. Everything has to be done decently in order. Decently and in order. You have to start with a moral code that we're all already on. It's not that difficult, y'all. It's not that difficult.
Hi, OC.
No, that last part you said was fire. You know what I'm saying? Like cook your food right so people could receive it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So like it's all about your approach, you know, when it comes to like education and things like that and teaching someone. So like we literally could learn from like anybody. You know, I'm learning from my daughter, and she.
So sorry y'all for ads. We'll talk over them, but you know, well here you go. Okay, they want to let me keep going. All right, one ad. Okay, that's not bad.
Learn from people that's on the streets that don't have any money. You know what I'm saying? I learn from the things around me. I learn from nature. You know, so like our ego shouldn't take in place where we're not able to even listen to someone. You know what I'm saying? So you never know what nature wants to bring you, or we could say the Most High. You could say God. You could say Allah. You know what I mean? People are used for different things. So, you know, it's the reason why someone is in your life just speaking in front of you. You know, because they don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So like education, you could get that anywhere and everywhere. You know, so it's just like speaking things to existence. You know, I feel like the universe is going to bring things towards you to move how you're supposed to move. You know, to manifest what you ask for. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like education is the most important. We do have to get our mind right in order to move how we should move. You know what I mean? Learning from history, not necessarily like repeating history, because I feel like we should be elevating and growing. You know, building on top of, you know, brick after brick. You know what I mean? But I feel like we should be a people that's able to learn from anyone. You know, no matter who it is, and be able to elevate from that. So, you know, just finding different creative ways of learning. I feel like that's really up to you, you know, making things like just being approachable when it comes to education. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's my biggest thing when it comes to education. You know, you could literally learn from everyone. You know what I'm saying? If you just open up your eyes, you know. So, but yeah, all facts.
So that's what we have to do. Open up our eyes and stop being so haughty. Stop being so haughty. I'm going to let my co-host tell y'all more about that.
It ain't what they looking at, it's them. It just said they're unbelieving, right? So they don't believe nothing. Everything is tainted. You speaking the book and they ain't budging, you feel me? Not even the words of the Bible or the types of souls that this Bible promised to produce in these last days is pure to them. Come on? According to them, this Bible a lie. Everybody dirty and fake, and ain't nobody about to be fit for this kingdom when it come according to them, right? In a nutshell, that's what they saying. That's what their mentality is saying. That's what their faith is saying. It's because their mind is unable to see what's pure. So the impurities that they do see, they draw them out and apply them all the way across the board to everything, right? But is that true? Is that fact? Well, precept, get it again. Let's see. Proverbs 12 and 15. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes. So no, it's not fact. No, it's not true. It only exists in their own defiled conscience and mind, in their own pure eyes that they rolling back in their head, throwing all up in the air while you trying to tell them something. Only in their own eyes are they right. But there is another but. But what? But he that hearkeneth on the counsel is wise. Kapow, but he that hearken on the counsel, now he is wise, man, because he's soaking up game when it's being spoken. He got an ear trained to hear that, and it builds him up, and it makes him stronger, and it's teaching him how to see, right? He see the impurities yet, but he is also able to see what is pure, and he is able to accept and respect and appreciate the counsel that he's getting when it's before him.
Oh, appreciate the counsel that is before you. That's where we have to be held accountable. Held accountable. Looking right off, I see words like trust, honest, pride, ownership, reliable, moral, governance, commitment, responsibility, values, actions, accountability. That's a mighty, mighty powerful word. In ethics and governance, accountability is answerability, blameworthiness, liability, and the expectations of account giving. We have to be accountable to one another. We have to be our brother's keepers in this hour. Shouts out to son of Yah again. I heard you, my brother. Accountability, answerability. Sometimes when you are in a position of power, with that power comes accountability. You have to give answers. You have to give answers. That's why, in my opinion, what we need is to understand that we're all to be held accountable to one creator, one sovereign, and then we all work within our talents to ensure that our nation is intact. And then that way, each man is held accountable for his own actions. Each individual, because we all have a part to play. You have your job, I have my job, I stay in my lane, you stay in your lane. And we get the job done. Right? Because now we were saying that we're on code and we're accountable to this one particular cause. We're going to remain and stay steadfast, accountable to this one particular cause of uniting our people that's in our community. Account. The first definition deals with accounting, computation of debts and credits, a general statement of particular sums, But I want to jump down to number 6. Reason or consideration as a motive, as well on all accounts, on every account. You have to have answers for everything that you do. You have to have a reason. And others will consider your reasoning. And therefore they have questions. And you have to be ready to give an answer. That's being held accountable. 7, value, importance, estimation. This is accountability. This is account. That is such as a state of persons or things as renders them worthy of more or less estimation, as men of account of him. Psalms 144. Regard, behave, sake. A sense deduced from charges on books. Okay, so that goes back into accounting. But we have to hold each and every individual accountable for themselves and to our nation, point blank, period. In an effort to keep everybody united on their cause, to unite everybody, Sons of Yah 444 wants everybody to know that there's a Black Guns reunion happening June 19th in Atlanta, Georgia. You can add them on Instagram, Sons of Yah 444. If you think you'll be able to attend that, that's on June 19th. Y'all know that's Juneteenth. Juneteenth, for those who don't know, it was the day that the slaves in Texas, the black slaves in Texas, found out that they were free. After years of everybody else in the nation being free, slaves in Texas, they just found out. So on June 19th, can't remember what year it was, but you know, that part. Yeah, so in honor of that, trying to show that we stand united. June 19th, Atlanta, Georgia, Black Guns reunion. He said, Shalom, family. June 19th, we will be standing together again as a nation. Bring back the family, bring back the hope and faith in our people that we're still here for each other. Black Guns reunion. You know, I can't make this up. So, family, we are still trying to unite our people. That's the code, unity. We can't get that unity if we're not loyal to our people. We have to stay on code. What goes on in our nation stays in our nation. That's the code. Moving forward, that should be the code. What goes on in our nation stays in our nation. We understand that we have worldwide platforms, but certain things we should say in those worldwide platforms, and then other things we should, hold tight and, speak to that brethren face to face and work it out whatever the differences are. And then if you can't get no common understanding, you go to the nation, not the world. You go to a nation, you arrange a sit-down talk with the nation. So shouts out to everybody who agreed to be on that conference call. Y'all know who y'all are. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I pray that, you stay committed to helping us show that you're loyal to the nation so that we can get united for our community. And it's no longer a black dream. So with that said, that was my last definition. That was my last stint. I might dip back in and out. I gotta give the floor to my co-host because the brother put together some codes, and it's codes that we should live by, moral codes, right? Moral codes, moral understandings, right? That we should live by. Since we're all saying that we're children of the Most High, we're all saying that we recognize that there is a higher being, a supreme, sovereign creator. We all agree to that. And so now let's understand what that moral code is and stay on code. So that's what Brian 7, nothing like it. The truth about righteousness. Because see, when you're righteous, when you're walking in righteousness, there's no reason for you to be upset about what anybody say, because you're walking in righteousness. It's only when we're doing something that we know, that when we examine ourselves deep down inside, we know that we kind of messed up and we went left. How do you proceed then? Do you correct it, or you just keep going as if it never happened? No, you correct it. Once it's brought to your attention, but you correct it with that person, not with the world. Stop letting social media become our new therapist, our new psychiatrist. We can't say, well, it's like a drug, or a psychologist. So both. So I'm going to let Brian 7 inspire me to say more, because that's how I feel right now. So I give all praises to the Most High for this message being able to go forth. It's about loyalty, so we can get unity, loyalty to the nation, that would lead to us unifying the community and achieving a dream of unification that nobody seems to want to recognize is actually happening right now. And it can continue to happen, continue to build, continue to grow, as long as we stay on code.
He wasn't throwing his eyes all up in the air on you when you was talking to him. Now when situations rise up against him in his life, he gonna know what to do, and be able to weave his way up out of a snare that take us down and snatch us right about the truth. Nah, not him. He gonna know what it takes to please a higher, because he was hearkening on to count, so therefore he will be wise. Precept, get it again on the flip side. James 1:22. But be ye doers of the word. Be ye doers of the word, a doer of the word. Therefore, since he has hearkened on to wise counsel, now he can go do the word, right? And not hearers only. And not just hearers only. Not rolling his eyes, throwing his eyes all up in the air on you. He hearing the word, but he not taking nothing from the word. Never applying himself to the word to do the word. What's the result of hearing the word but not doing the word? Watch this. Deceiving your own self. Deceiving your own self. That's the result of that. When that situation rises up against him, he not gonna know what to do, because he is one who has only heard the word. He is not one who is gonna do the word and benefit from it. You see that? And who gonna suffer from that decision? Him. He gonna suffer from it. He deceiving his own self. He has deceived himself. He has lied to himself. His way ain't gonna help him in his life. He's gonna fail, both on earth and at the throne. He gonna die twice. Why? Because precept, get it again. Proverbs 14:12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man. There is a way that seemed right to a man. That way that had him too pure, too real, too good, his eyes lofty, all that. That way that had him rolling his eyes because his way is better. Yeah, it seemed right to him, but in real life, what? But the end thereof are the ways of death. But the end thereof are the ways of death. The ways of death. Ways. Punchline. It ain't gonna just fail him here in this realm, but it's gonna fail him wherever his soul go after this, The end thereof is the ways of death. Precept, get it again. Let's break this down. Luke 13:24. Strive to enter in at the straight gate. Strive to enter in at the straight gate. Strive. That means you're gonna have to fight. Strive. Fight to enter in at the straight gate. That means you're gonna have to fight for it,
Fight
it ain't
for your
gonna just be
nation.
handed over to you easily, is what that means.
Right.
Strive to enter in at the straight gate. Straight mean narrow, right? That meaning there ain't gonna be a lot of people who gonna do what needs to be done to strive and fight and win and enter in at this little bitty entrance, right? Nah, they gonna be putting it off. They ain't gonna wanna strive and work hard to enter in at the straight gate, right? They gonna want it easy, but in real life, what? For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in, many will seek to enter in. So there will be many who look into it somewhat, right? And will actually try it. They did make at least a minimal effort and give it a shot, right? But many who was too slick and too good and too real and too pure to hear the right way to do this will what? Shall not be able. They shall not be able. Bang, there it is there. They will not be able to enter into this straight gate, right? The entrance of this gate gonna be too small, they gonna be too big. They wasn't shrinking and dropping things. So they gonna get to this entrance, and this entrance is gonna be too small for them to fit through, right? All that time that they spent thinking that their way was right, but they gonna get right here to this gate, and they gonna get turned away, They gonna find out that they way was not right. Fam, I try so hard to stick to what the word to this book is saying, because I do not want to be this soul that this right here happens to, and I share my findings because I don't want it to be you either. I don't want us to get to this gate and find out that the way we've been moving and shaking was unacceptable to the Most High in Christ, Precept, get it again. Let's flip it in this direction. Let's go in this direction with it. Romans 6:20 through 22. For when ye were servants of sin, okay, so when we were servants of sin, ye were free from righteousness, okay, we was free from righteousness. We didn't have to worry about which way was the right way to go. We could just do whatever we wanted to do, whatever we felt like doing, right? 21, what fruit had ye in those things? But what fruit did we have in those things?
Have nothing.
When we were serving sin and didn't have to worry about if our way was right or not. What did we always run into? What did we get out of that? Whereof ye are now ashamed. Whereof ye are now ashamed. We ran into shame. We got shame out of it. That's what we got out of it. We got shame. That's what we ran into. We ran into shame. I was having fun doing it however I wanted to do it. Right? That's fun. I wish I could trade it all back in, so I could turn it around and rewind it and do it the right way, right? And be using all that time cleaning up in my righteousness, I'm ashamed of the ways I spoke, thought, and behaved in the past out of my ignorance. We be ashamed of that, don't we? If you are not ashamed of those things of your past, and you still enjoy and desire them things we should be trying to put behind us, then you in danger.
And it's how
you still talk how you was talking in the world and reacting to confrontation the same way you would have reacted to them when you was in the world. If you ain't learning to control your lust and impulses, if this word ain't shaping and shifting the way you thinking in your mind, family, then you are you in danger. Why? Because the end of those things is death. Pow, punchline, there it is right there. Because the end of those things are death. They're going to ways to death again. For the end of those things is death. That means we will be one of those souls who seek to enter in, but will not be able, Ain't that what that mean? That mean we going in that skillet, don't it? Pick material, fire hole. 22, what's the solution? 22 will now be made free from sin. But now being made free from sin, so we got to be made free from sin. What is sin? Transgression of the law, breaking the law. Law number 1, do nothing before the Most High. That's first and foremost. That's the first law. You got to choose the Most High over anything and everybody. The rest of the laws that follow after that is just showing you exactly how to do this stuff, right? Showing you how to keep the Most High first. Keep the Most High number 1. The things that anger him, the things that he don't like, right? It's showing us how to steer clear of that. All the rest of the whole law is just letting us know what he don't like, what to do and what not to be doing. And if we play our cards right according to him, then what does this make us? We become servants of the Most High. This makes us servants of the Most High, right? This makes us servants of a higher, y'all. Let's keep getting it. And what that do? Ye have your fruit unto holiness. Now, we have our fruit the same way like we had it in the world. Ye have your fruit unto holiness. Now, we don't need no fruit unto holiness. We just throw our eyes up in the air. We already right and pure. Our way is already better. Ye have your fruit unto holiness. We have our fruit unto holiness. Holy means separated, right? Portioned off to the Most High, set apart. And what way is this way? Is this the way of death? What way is this way? And the end, everlasting life. Pow, bang, boom, pow. These are the ways of everlasting life. The and everlasting life. These are the ways to life, not the ways to death. This is what makes us servants of him. This is how we gonna enter into that straight gate. This way is right. This is how Christ walked. This is what Christ came to show us, how to make his Father happy. Precept, get it again. This is right. Leviticus 19 and 15. Ye shall do no one righteous in judgment. We shall do no one righteous in judgment. Our judgment gotta be right. That means we gotta make the right decision. Now we're gonna give us some examples of what a right decision is. Let's get it. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor. We shall not respect the person just because they are poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, nor rock with those that's mighty and show honor to them just because they are mighty. But what? But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. But in righteousness shall we judge our neighbor. So no, we don't make our decision based on the stature of men, if they are rich or poor or weak or mighty, but we pass our judgment depending on whether it is the righteous thing to do or not, whether they are righteous or not, whether their actions are righteous or not, given the circumstances, right? So that means I can't go against the mighty and the righteous for you just because we both poor, Nah, regardless of his stature. If he right, then I gotta be telling you, yo, he right, I can trip right now, Nor can I side with him if he is unrighteous, just because he mighty and strong and can do things for me, and I may can benefit from his friendship, right? Nah, I can't choose him. I gotta rock with you, and we just gonna have to sit back and kick it and be poor together, right? And be content together. All praises to the Most High. That's the right thing to do, and it may look like you lose out on a lot living like that, but what is the advantage that the righteous got? Let's get into some of that. Let's look at some of that. Let's get some of this before we head up out of here. Why should I stand with the righteous no matter what? Precept, get it again. Psalm 75 and 10. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off. That's why. Because all the horns of the wicked shall be cut off. What is a horn anyway? A horn is that which raise up and stick out and stand out, right? Stand upward. That's a horn. Ain't that what a horn do? Poke outward, don't it? Okay then. Them that stick up and stand out of the wicked will be cut off. That's they leaders. The tallest ones, the lofty, right? The leaders. Them horns of the wicked will be cut off. Reading on. But the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. But the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. That's what the advantage of siding with the righteous is. They will never be cut off. They gonna stay sticking up and standing out, right? Stay raised up. Even after the judgment, they gonna still be standing there, maintaining their upright position, right? That they took. Did you see this iron? So man, we better start choosing what's right. That's why I'm bringing this jam out. Because our stance, that spot that we stand in, and willing to rise up for and defend and go hard for. Yeah. Is it right? Is it a scripture against it? Ponder on that a minute. In that bed that our heart is making for itself to have to lay in for an eternity, is it right? Or are we just in our feelings? Let it marinate. Precept, get it again. Let's grab another example like this. What again is the advantage of choosing righteousness? Exodus 23 and 7. Keep thee far from a false matter. Stay away from a false matter. Don't be no false witness. And in the innocent and righteous slay thou not. In the innocent and righteous slay thou not. You bet not ever slay or aid in any way in doing away with what is righteous. You better let it stand, right? I don't care what they saying. If scripture back it, you better let them say it. In no way, shape, or form do you go against what is true and right and fact, right? Why did the Most High gotta tell us this? Because we have individuals who will side with a wicked culprit just because of how things look and appear and come off, right? For whatever reason, be it the poor or the mighty, will disregard what is right and go against it and step on it and try to kill it, and slay it and do away with it and slander it and try to silence it, etc., right? Weaken the works of it for our own personal reasons. I see it so much out here, and I know the mass majority is gonna do whatever they're gonna do, right? But I'm just throwing this out here for that chosen few, you who are gonna hear this and move accordingly to make up this remnant, right? And even for the others who say nay, just know one thing. Look at this here. Most High speak. For I will not justify the wicked. The Most High ain't about to justify the wicked. It don't matter how you was persuaded.
And with that, family,
and you went against it. If the Most High was for it and you went against it, then you went against him, right?
It's time
you
to
went against righteousness. That gotta go to court, right?
That's not trying to go against.
Same way like a courtroom, they ain't doing nothing but duplicating what the Most High already done set up through these books, right? Through the Bible. They repeating that. It gotta go to go to court. That's what this is telling us. The Most High is not going to justify those who were
what the Most High is
wicked.
doing right now in this hour, to have all of these different brethren come together, talking about the same thing, unifying and building a nation, unifying and building a nation. So what was this show about?
Period.
In my opinion, how to build a strong black nation.
Face this. You knew to do that.
Things.
You did this instead. That was wicked. Shoot.
Loyalty.
Pit material. Fire hole.
Allegiance to a sovereign.
Okay, you was faced with this. You knew to do that. Nation. You did it not. And you taught men so. That was wicked. Shoot. Through the floor. Pit material, fire hole. Next, I mean, righteousness is not going to be playing no games with over here before this.
Brian 7, nothing
now,
like
you're
it.
Seeing all these people going through the floor.
I encourage you to go back again and listen to the full thing in its entirety and gain some knowledge about that reality check that every last one of us need to do in this hour. In my opinion, New Year's upon us, so now's a good time. Better time than any. And then that way we can have pure mind, pure conscience moving forward. As we approach Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread.
It's not because I'm unreasonable. It's not because I'm
I thank y'all for listening. I thank y'all for having an open mind.
It's just that I know that the Most High ain't gonna justify nothing.
Until next Thursday,
on
on Occulty Speaks,
no matter. He ain't gonna care what
I appreciate the talk. I am Occulty tomorrow. Shalom.
So-and-so went through that too. Look how he or she turned out. Next, right? He ain't hearing none of that. He's sparing who did what he expected them to do. He killing the rest. Point blank period. Everybody gonna be going through the floor. You gonna be like, dang, I shoot. Next, is anybody gonna make it? Do you know what a remnant is? A remnant is like the smallest, a fraction of the number, right? Like a drop of water in the ocean. Like you took a pinch of salt out of a big bag and then just threw the rest of the whole bag of salt in the trash, right? That's a remnant. That little pinch that you took, right? It's like if a higher had a big pretty cake, right? And just took the cherry off the top of the cake, right? And then just threw the rest of the cake in the trash. That's a remnant. A minute few gonna be rising to the occasion. Don't you wanna be one of those few? Okay then, you think you're gonna be one of those few doing what you see everybody else doing, operating how you see everybody else operate. I'm just trying to put it on your mind. Precept, get it again. Why do I side with righteousness over anything, over everything else? Numbers 23 and 10. Who can count the dust of Jacob? Because who can count the sand of that sea, huh? That dust of Jacob. It's a whole lot of Jacob, ain't it? And the number of the fourth part of Jacob. Who can even count a fourth of the sand of that sea of Jacob? It's so many of us, right? But in real life, what? Let me die the death of the righteous. Pal, let me die the death of the righteous. Now, I know it's a whole bunch of us, but let me die the death of those who die a righteous death, right? That's why I side with righteousness. In season, out of season, win, lose, or draw. Let me be a martyr then. Let me go out like that, like my forefathers, like the prophets, like Christ did, right? Like Christ went. How they did Isaiah when he was telling them what they didn't want to hear, right? We still playing all these same roles, right? We still filling all these same shoes. Ain't no other positions outside of righteousness but the Pharisees and the scribes and the Sadducees. All these roles that was against Christ, right? Them is the same roles we joining right now, the same spirits we joining up with when we go against what is righteous, right? You going against Christ's way. You joining the spirits of them that hung Christ, beheaded the disciples, right? Ain't that how it happened? So you feel me? So what role and position should we choose now in the moderate? And let my last end be like his. So that's the role and position that I choose today. Let my last end be like his. Why? Because that's who the Most High gonna justify and side with. Not them other roles in position on the other side. The innocent slay thou not, right? That's why I side with the righteous. Let my last end be like theirs. Let me go out like that. The Most High told me to embrace everything I embrace. The Most High told me to stay away from everything that I stay away from. The Most High said that. So yeah, let me die that death then. the death of the righteous. But first, in order to die that righteous death, we gotta live that righteous life, right? Always choosing what's good, just because it's good. Don't need no other reason. I don't care what it is. I don't care what the subject is. What's right? Do you have a scripture in your mind to match what's right? Okay, side with that. Then flat out, straight up and down, point blank, bottom line, period. All praises to the Most High, Bashim Yeshaya, Wah. Love, grace, mercy, and peace be unto you all. And your brother Bronze, happy Sabbath, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, man. And this has been righteousness. Psalm 85, 9 through 13. Surely his salvation is nigh them that fear him, that glory may dwell in our land. 10, mercy and truth have met together. Righteousness and peace have kissed each other. 11, truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven. 12, yea, thy power shall give that which is good, and our land shall yield her increase. 13, righteousness shall go before him, and shall set us in the way of his steps. Matthew 5 and 6. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled.